What's up, Dirty Birds? Tori McElhaney here, and I'm here to bring you a very special episode of the Falcons in Focus podcast. Back in May, Terrin, Waack, and I were able to sit down with Bralen Trice. He was a few weeks into the building after being drafted by the Falcons, and we really wanted to get to know him. Well, fast forward a few months, and here we are, and Bralen Trice is unfortunately on IR. He had a season-ending injury in the Falcons' first preseason game against Miami. Even though Bralen is looking ahead to 2025, we still wanted to bring you this episode. We didn't want it to fall by the wayside. We wanted you to get to know Bralen in the same way that we were able to. So, with that being said, sit back, relax, and listen to Bralen talk about his life and what brought him to Atlanta.
Hello. Welcome to the latest edition of Falcons in Focus. I am Terrin Waack, joined per usual by Tori McElhaney, and today's guest of honor is Bralen Trice. Woohoo!
Thanks for having me.
Trice as nice. I'm sure
Trice,
you get that a lot.
Yeah, I hear it all the time.
Okay. I'll think of something better. For starters, as the official ticket marketplace of the Atlanta Falcons and the NFL, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of tickets available for every game. Whether you're cheering on the Falcons at home or away, Ticketmaster has you covered. Download the Ticketmaster app or find tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Falcons. That's Ticketmaster.com/Falcons.
Woo. All right.
Now let's get to it.
Yeah, now that that's over. Although, thank you, Ticketmaster, for sponsoring us.
We are here.
we love the read every time.
Yes. I'm like getting my heart rate down. All right. Bralen.
Yeah.
We were just talking about how, like, there's not much out there about you. Like, sometimes we dig deep and find all these nuanced stories.
Yeah.
Come on.
I like it that way. I just like to be off the social media, off all the, the limelight. Just be myself, I guess.
I hope we surprise you a little bit. So we're going to start with your childhood.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so we saw that you played just about every sport under the sun.
Yeah.
Mainly your mother didn't want you to play football.
Yeah.
Is that like the classic scared mom tackle?
I think it was. She it's not that she didn't want me to play football. It was she just wanted me to be safe. And then I grew up. She played soccer. My brother played soccer. So that was the first thing I got into. And after that, my first year of soccer, I was like, yeah, I'm so bored. Like, give me something else. And then she's finally like, yeah, it's okay. You can do something else. And after that, I just kind of bounced around baseball, basketball, everything you can think of. Middle school rolls around. My friend was like, dude, you're a huge kid. Like, what are you doing? You're wasting your, talent. And then tried it out and fell in love with it, really.
It's interesting, too, because, we talk about, soccer and
the other football.
Baseball, right, the other football and basketball. That's a pretty track, I'm sure. That's all pretty normal, but you also were into karate.
Yeah, I tried that.
And kayaking.
I love kayak. I still love kayaking.
Okay.
How is that a sport?
Yeah.
It is a sport.
How does it make competitive?
When you
I don't think it's competitive, but leisurely.
He's about to fight you on that.
If you kayak 12 miles down a river and your shoulders are burning and you're trying to get there as fast as you can, that's a workout. That's a sport. That's
okay, yeah, I shouldn't speak. As a runner,
yeah.
It's the same thing, but in a boat.
Yeah. And it's your legs instead of your arms. Yeah.
So I'm really curious, before football kind of became numero uno, what was number one and why?
Oh, number one? Mm-hmm. I'd say tennis.
Interesting.
I play tennis too.
I love tennis. Just the competitiveness or the one-on-one, and just being able to pretty much do whatever you want out there because you're by yourself. It's not a team sport. I love team sport. I love football, but something about tennis, I don't know, the energy out there, I just love it.
I completely agree because it's not very many times do you truly get the sense of I'm just gonna beat up on that person there.
That's true.
And tennis is one of those sports where it is a very individualized game. What about do you think that you could go out and beat majority of the guys on this team at tennis?
For sure, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, all day.
Because I was about to
hesitation.
Yeah,
the original question I was going to be who could you go beat? And then I was actually, we haven't had a lot of tennis conversations at all. So I feel like you could actually go beat a
I would
number
for
of guys.
sure. I still got my serve down, my slice, my one-hand backhand, my forehand tops. Everything's locked in.
There's a pickleball court over there.
Pickleball is different.
He's no.
It seems like that is less prone for injuries to happen, though.
Yeah,
So maybe we
for
need need to stick to that.
Well, old people can play pickleball.
Whoa.
It's true.
Yeah.
Because you're not moving as much, technically.
I don't know.
We're team tennis over
I'd have
here.
to look at, contract-wise if I could play
Right,
some tennis.
Like, maybe not tennis. Let's
Yeah, he's like,
what's available on the premise.
Yeah, for sure.
He's like, I just signed my rookie deal and you're having me go play pickleball. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
What was it about karate? Like, is that the one
I think I was
with
just
black
bored.
belt and everything?
Yeah. You go from different colored belts. I didn't make it too far. I think I was like 3 belts deep, but
Dang.
I think I was just bored at that time trying to figure out what I wanted to do.
He was like, my mom's not letting me play.
He's like,
Yeah.
soccer,
football.
boring. Karate, boring. Anything else that was boring? Everything besides football,
Right, yeah.
boring.
Golf got boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of
Baseball,
it.
Baseball was like top tier boring.
You do stand around a
Yeah,
lot.
You stand there and you just wait. And then when you're playing, because I played outfield, pitcher was fun.
Yeah.
Because you're active every single play.
What else I played? I think I played first base. But outfield is
too.
terrible. I'm standing there like, all right, chewing my gum, kicking the grass, twisting my fingers, like I want to
Like,
leave.
looking for a 4-leaf clover.
Yeah, because in Little League, it's like not everybody's hitting dingers. It's,
Right.
So you're just standing there like, all right.
Oh man. Well, honestly, I think that's really cool. So I come from a family that it's like we never specialized in anything. We always played a bunch of different things, and that was something that was taught to me by my dad. And it seems like your mom, even though she was kind of like hands off on the football stuff for a little bit, I mean, I imagine that she had a hand in getting you to all of these different activities and being like, try whatever you want.
Yeah, she was great. She was a great mom. She still is a great mom. She like did everything she could to get me into whatever sport I could do. She was always driving us around, and her big it was like a old white Tahoe. I just remember I'd put the seats down in the third row and I'd just lay back there with my legs up. Memories, but yeah, she did a lot for us. So.
It's interesting because I can't remember where this was. It was either on a video of a press conference that you had like leading up to the national championship, or it was at the combine. I literally cannot remember. But someone asked like where your mentality, like as
Work ethic.
work ethic, like came from, and you made the comment. You were like, I want to be just like my mom.
Yeah, I just like growing up, I just seen how hard she worked with me and my siblings, or like for us, and even today, like I'm out of the house, my brother's out of the house, my sister's about to graduate. She's somebody who's got a crazy work ethic, by the way. But my mom's still working, still doing overtime. So I'm like, chill, like it's just you in the house now. You don't need to do all that.
Right,
but
yeah.
I think it's just like something in her, just like she likes working. I don't know, and I feel like I got that from her. My sister, on the other hand, is crazy. She just got her associates. She's going into college, like already 2 years into it.
Jeez,
She's
wow.
took like second in some like science fair state competition. She's going to nationals or something. She's like
Nice.
brainchild, but I'm proud of her for that too.
We love a bragging session.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite part of this, when we get to brag on our families.
Yeah.
Yeah, you over there saying none of y'all like picked one thing and stuck with it, and your sister's over here like on track to be a pro golfer.
Well, she is
Yeah,
playing.
what?
She is currently playing in the state championship golf tournament. Yes, that is true. They're literally wrapping up. I'm pretty positive right now, so I'm waiting to see kind of
That's
what
crazy.
her scores
Yeah.
are. Yeah, but she also plays basketball. She doesn't play golf year round. So
Well, I feel like most athletes like have something else that they do.
yeah, I feel like you have to from a mentality standpoint. Like if you do, that's why I think it's so important that everybody has hobbies like
Yeah.
outside of it. Like what some of the hobbies that we were looking at that you have, to bring it back to you.
big outdoors guy.
Oh yeah, I love it. When I
Some-
get the time, obviously. But
Right.
if I out here, I was already looking into like bass fishing boats, and I can get out there on Lake Lanier, even though I've heard it's haunted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are some stories of Lake
Yeah.
Lanier, so just be careful. You
Yeah.
know,
What lake is fully?
no lake is
right?
actually safe.
I mean, the history behind it.
it's a little
Is a
touch
little,
and go.
Yeah.
Not great.
You might
But-
not be catching bass.
Yeah.
No, you definitely can.
It was a joke.
Oh.
Catching some
No, but it was. I'm sorry. I was like, you definitely can catch bass. What's interesting is you were asked like what your dream NIL deal would be, and you said some fishing company.
Yeah, I was like either a fly fishing company like Orvis or just anything really that'd be sick. I think.
How long, I mean, do you have like a favorite fishing spot that you had, like when you're up in Washington or even Phoenix?
I had a favorite spot in Colorado because my grandpa would take me fishing all the time when I was younger. And there was this spot right off the edge of the dam, and I would just throw it in right there, and I swear I hit trout every single time I would go in there. That's why I really started fishing, but I don't know, that's like a nostalgia type memory and area for me. But anywhere else in Washington, I was going to all the different lakes with my best friend Zeke all the time, and he had a boat, so we were going out fishing, but it was fun.
I've never been to Washington, but like the hikes and the nature, it's like one of the top 3 places I want to visit.
Yeah, I'd say visit when it's not wintertime.
Yeah, wintertime, I guess wintertime is everywhere, anytime.
If you could go out to Washington right at this exact time period right now, that's the perfect time.
Hey, can I go?
No. No, we also we played Seattle, and we practiced at Washington.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Which is hilarious because now you and Mike are like on the team. It's kind of like a full circle moment. But 2 years ago, we went and practiced at Washington. I got to meet Dub, the cutest little husky.
The real one?
The real one.
Okay.
Yeah, he was adorable, and I loved him so much. Yeah. He's
so well trained.
He really is. I can't remember exactly what they did, but they said go dogs or something. He goes.
How did that go?
No, I'm not doing it again. People are gonna cut that. I know they are. So anywho, I love Dubs, and we went up there, and we were up there in like early September, and it was stunning while we were up there. Perfect weather. It was like 72 degrees.
Sunny.
Yeah. Not a cloud in the sky the entire time that we were there.
Boats out on the water. You can see Mount Rainier with the snow on it. It's beautiful.
How big of a transition was that then from the deserts of Arizona
to
the lush of Washington?
If I could go back right now, and I could buy a house there, I would, just, to have, rather than in Arizona. I mean, my family's there, but I just couldn't live in Arizona. It's dry, it's hot as hell. It's 110, 115 degrees in the summer, if not more. And just living in that is just terrible. You just want to sit inside all day and do nothing.
Oh, get ready. You're now in Georgia, which is
I've heard.
Thick out here.
The dry and humid heat are very different, though.
Very different, yeah.
You're going to know when
humidity's a little bit
harsher,
here. I think, though.
The thing with humidity is, it's tough to, breathe. With, the dry heat, you just feel like you're in an oven. When you're in the middle of training camp in, August, it's, just thick. And you're just
Yeah, I'm a little stressed. Pads and helmet on, and you're got layers, and it's already humid and it's hot.
We just hydrate, liquid IVs, all those kind of things.
Just picture yourself back
real IVs. Honestly, if Troy Anderson, who's from Montana, if he can handle it, I feel like everybody could. I remember the first time I saw him after he was drafted, it was rookie minicamp, so May, y'all just, I know, wrapped up y'all's, but he walked over and he was like, man, it's hot. And I was like, we're in May. I was like, August is going to be so bad for you, my guy.
Yeah.
Hey, you could go fly fishing with him.
Really?
He even mentioned it during today's.
Montana,
yeah.
He mentioned it during today's presser, even.
Yeah, him and Nate Lamon, big fishing dudes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big outdoors dudes.
Big outdoors guys. Man. Okay, so now
we're in Washington.
Yeah, now we've talked about Washington. You take your talents to Washington after high school at Sandra Day O'Connor High School. Yep. And 2019 redshirt year, and then 2020 comes along. We all know what happens in 2020. Pandemic.
Yeah.
Really just kind of threw a wrench in all of our plans.
Oh, Rona.
Oh.
Tell me about it.
Tough, man. And you actually opted out of the 2020 season.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is what was that experience like to kind of go from hey, I'm prepping and getting ready for the season, and then all of a sudden it's actually I need to take a step back?
I always say, looking back on it, I wouldn't change my decision I made because the space that I was in terms of my career and as an athlete and just a person, mentally I wasn't locked in enough. So taking that time off, I really got to, find out what my motivations were and stuff like that. And I came back a better person, a better athlete with a stronger work ethic too. And just rolled on into success in the next few years, and I'm here. So I'm grateful I took that time off.
Worked out. And what's interesting is you talk about your motivation and coming back. It was interesting because I think I read you put on 20 pounds of muscle during that year. And one of your coaches was like, he came back and he was more confident and played with more ferocity, which I thought that's first off, that's such a like cool thing to say about someone, is that they came back with a new fire inside of them. What did you do during that year that kind of took you from point A to point B in finding your motivation?
A lot of like reflecting, just sitting there and thinking like reminding myself no one's gonna do this for me. Kind of like maturing, I guess. 'Cause coming out of high school, I also wasn't mature enough. I was a young kid, and I thought the world was just gonna be handed to me on a silver platter. And I had to learn real quick that I had to work harder for that. 'Cause you go from being the star in your high school team to being, everybody else is just as good, and you got to earn it.
What did your motivation end up being? Like, we always ask players, like, what's your why?
Yeah.
Which I know can sometimes be corny, but to me, this.
But what is your why?
But what is your why? Like, this does sound like
I
a
think
story
I got
where you found it.
Top 3 whys: God, my mom, and then just to prove everybody wrong. Yeah. I just think, I don't know, since day one of playing football, I've just always been doubted, and I think that that's part of why I try to work so hard, is I just want to prove everybody wrong and show everybody that I can do what most people don't think I can. So.
Did you go back to Arizona, or did you just stay in Washington?
I went back to Arizona with my family.
Okay. How did you put on those 20 pounds of muscle?
Like, an interesting question. For someone trying to bulk up.
Yeah.
Well, it started out
downward dog in the living room. What were you doing during the pandemic?
Well, mine started out with just bulking, like eating a lot, drinking a lot of protein, running a lot in the sun, conditioning, and then I came back, and that's when I started to hit the weights a lot, and that bulking just turned into muscle. And I could definitely tell the difference from being 235 and being 255, 260, trying to move somebody else around. It's so much easier, but yeah.
I love it. So, kind of, I think this is around the same time, and you can kind of correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe during college you took a trip to the Dominican Republic. What year was that? You remember?
That was 2022.
Okay, because I figured
after
it was
the season.
Yeah, I figured it was post pandemic.
Definitely.
Right? Yeah, we're all vaccinated. But I read where that was a very transformative trip for you. Can you kind of speak to what that trip was and why it kind of became a key moment for you?
So my best friend Zeke actually invited me on the trip because the group that he was going with was like his Christian group, and I was like, sure, I'll go. Why not? It's part of FCA too. So I went, and it was really kind of just to see how like other people are living, and poverty, and seeing like not kind of like acting like we're superheroes going to visit and we're going to help you build houses and build bathrooms and take care of you, but more like we're going to step into your shoes and take a moment to see what's going on here and kind of like, I guess, how do I say it?
Like, just like be in the culture,
but also like to be able to take a step in their shoes and go, oh wow, I have it good. Like,
right.
Perspective. Yeah. And it hit me really hard because like I'm out there with all the little kids, and they're living in like huts with like tin-foil roofs, and there's little kids playing in like sewage, like, and that's their day to day. And I get upset when like my gas light turns on and I gotta go fill up my tank or something like that. So it just puts it into perspective, and it really like gave me a sense of like purpose in terms of like when NIL became a thing. I was like, man, like I got like some NIL money, like I don't need all this money, like I'm gonna go help somebody else in that area that I just visited. So then I reached out and saw what I could do to help a family that I went and spent time with, and and I eventually ended up helping build a house for them. And it cost a few bucks, but I'm so excited to be able to go see it and to see how the family is living in the house and see how they're doing, because I know they definitely needed it. So.
Do you keep in contact with them?
I don't think I can.
Oh, okay.
Really,
Yeah, it's probably through an organization.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like legally, I can't.
Right.
But, they send me pictures and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. I always ask this, and it's pretty lame, but what was your peak and your pit of the trip? Like, peak being like, oh, this is amazing and I love this so much, and pit being like, that was tough. Flight was canceled.
It was no air conditioning in like hotels or
yes.
buildings and stuff. You have to get used to that because we have it so great here. You know, we don't really think of it too hard or too much. But the high was playing baseball with all the kids in town.
Yeah.
Not boring in that moment.
Yeah, no, it was fun just because like you see how they interact and like they're all speaking Spanish and you're trying to piece their conversations together, and like you know we have these pre-notion ideas of like other cultures where it's like oh they're different from us, but like when you talk to like little kids in another culture, they're the same as the little kids here. Like they act the same, they make the same jokes, they're all messing with each other, so it's really cool to be able to experience that with them.
Were they good? Did they kick your butt?
Oh my God, they were good. They were just like naturally like good at baseball.
Right, yeah.
That's why they bring so many of them over here to play.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love that. I love that story. And I was like, look, when we were doing our research, I found that, and I was like, I very much love when people, one, give back, but also two, just to like open their own minds and horizons to different things and have these experiences where it's like, oh, life is more than just what this bubble around me is. And it feels like that was kind of what it was for you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And building a house, it seems like having a roof over your head seems like the bare minimum. And to know that you were able to give that to someone.
Yeah.
I did Habitat for Humanity in college, and so like being able, they only gave me the paint, don't worry, Tori. Being able to like be a part of giving someone a home, I can understand like why you wanted to do that.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I'm just grateful I had the opportunity to be able to go there, you know. Not everybody gets to, so.
Do you think pre-pandemic you would have taken the opportunity?
No. Pre-pandemic we would have been like, oh, I'm wasting a week of my break away from football and from school. But me now is like, if I get an opportunity like that, I'm taking it. Because, you know, open your eyes, open your heart, and you know, spiritually and everything, and you can really change your life, I guess.
Look at that growth, people.
I know. That's a nice note to end on.
Right?
Well, first, we can't end yet because we have rapid fire.
Yeah.
So, final 5 questions. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right.
He had to get in the zone. He had his water, cleared his throat, stretched a bit.
Okay. What was your favorite play of your career?
Any
Favorite
level.
play of my career? My fumble recovery for 80 yards. Yeah.
Against Arkansas State.
Even though I was super slow and it was so
I was
fun.
about to say we were watching it, or I watched it. I'm sure you watched it too. But someone said he's chugging.
Yeah.
Chugging.
I was like this. I was first couple times being out on the field. I see the ball. I was like, oh Lord, I gotta go.
Did you get to the sideline? You're like, where's the oxygen tank?
Yeah. No. Everyone's like, why didn't you celebrate? I'm like, I was trying to breathe.
I really couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
I love defensive touchdowns.
Yeah, no, amazing.
Okay. Who was your favorite player growing up, regardless of sport?
Ooh, I like watching Roger Federer on in tennis.
Yes, I was hoping we were gonna get a tennis player.
Back to tennis.
Yeah, someone said Venus Williams or Serena Williams at some point.
Both of them.
Both of them. Either of the Williams sisters.
Yeah.
So it's nice that we have some more tennis representation here. Love it. Okay. If you were to recommend a TV show or movie to the people, what would it be?
Ooh, Ozark or what was it? Snowfall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Nice. I love it. Ozark is a frequent of this podcast.
Snowfall first, then Ozark.
Ooh.
One A, then one B.
Rankings for sure.
If you had a superpower, what would it be and why?
Oh, super speed. Raps.
That would have helped so much on that touchdown.
Yeah, definitely. Because like if you ever seen like The Flash or you watch cartoons or read comics, like bro can literally travel back in time. I could be in and out this door. You won't even see me. I could be on the field and like I could just be a receiver at this size and dust everybody. So I don't know. That'd be awesome.
That would be a visual.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Oh my gosh. Okay, last question. And it's kind of, it has to do with this whole like fishing, outdoorsy, backpacking, kayaking type of thing. What has been your favorite, I guess, like hiking experience, fishing experience?
One where you once won with nature. Most.
Yeah. Where were you one with the world and the earth?
The last hike I did with my best friend, we went up it was Psy or something like that in Seattle. But we went, it was 3.5, 4 hours up, and we went straight up. We ran up.
No.
Yeah, and I finally got to like where like the trees cleared and like you can see the peak, and I'm trying to run and my legs start locking out. And I kid you not, I was crawling up the last like 30, 40 yards. Finally got to the top, laid down, pulled out like the jet boil system and made coffee and food and just kicked it and like almost like meditated on the top of the mountain. It felt so good.
That's sick. Okay.
He's from Phoenix, so
I was literally
it Camelback Mountain?
No, in Seattle or in Washington.
Yes,
Okay.
that's it. But we went. We did Camelback Mountain last year.
Yeah.
I got to the top and I was like, "Can somebody helicopter me out of here?"
That happens. You got to be careful.
Terrin legit goes, we're about like a
got
quarter
humbled.
of the way up, and she goes, "Can Air Force come get me?"
Oh my God.
That's what I like. I'm a runner. I ran like maybe 10 miles the day before. This mile hike humbled me, and that was not a hike. That is rock
How
climbing.
hot was it?
It was probably like 84.
September, so August.
Oh, that's
or
not, it's
October.
probably just the dry.
Yeah, it
No,
wasn't.
it was the arm muscles I lacked.
Oh, really?
I felt like I was
It
rock
was like that climbing?
Oh yeah.
You never did it?
No.
Dude, you gotta go do it. It's like, because they told us, they're like, oh, it's a really easy hike. And I'm thinking,
They're
like,
lying.
around here, I was like, oh, there's a trail and you kind of like walk up through the trees. And
There just wasn't going to be grass.
right, it was fine. No, we turn a corner and there are these huge rock formations and everybody's climbing up the rocks. And Terrin and I look at each other and go, what did we do? What did we get into?
I was so sore. Like,
It was
Head on
truly
back.
crazy. Terrin ripped her leggings. I like hurt my
I
toe.
scuffed all my
That's not
hands.
good
And like,
at
I like
all.
hiking.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking like North Carolina mountains.
Right,
Not
yeah.
this. It was rock climbing.
It was rock climbing. It was like
not a hike.
scrambling. So
Going down was a lot harder too, because I'm like, I'm gonna slip and fall. I'm dead. R.I.P. Where's the rattlesnake?
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
take-
yeah, rattlesnakes.
just take me out now. No, but it's funny. So now we know when you come back on for part 2, it needs to be after you've gone back to Phoenix and hiked Camelback Mountain so that we can compare
I'll
notes.
have to go do it then.
No, you
yeah.
have to,
Yeah.
because I don't know if this was a ringing endorsement, but we had a great time.
It was
Not gonna
worth
lie.
it.
It was worth it.
I just was not mentally prepared.
Yeah. Once we're off, I'll show you some pictures of us.
Okay, bet.
Yeah.
I know that we have thoroughly embarrassed ourselves while he's over here running 3 miles
Right,
up a mountain.
4.
This has been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys having me on here for sure.
Oh, you'll be back.
Yeah, you have to tell us about Camelback Mountain.
Yeah.
And honestly, just for our like sake and sanity, just tell us like it was
tough.
Like you can lie to us.
I'll lie about it.
This is the
I
one
might
time
have
we
a hard
give you
time
permission.
too.
We give you permission to lie to us.
Hey, we do not endorse lying on this podcast. And on that splendid note, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Atlanta Falcons Podcast Network on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen. Thanks for listening.